Hi, everybody. I'm Joel Simmons for another 2-Minute Turf Talk. I have my friend and our chemist, Mr. Lawrence Mayhew, with us. And we just finished an EarthWorks podcast where we talked about tank mixing. And then the subject of doing a jar test came up. And I want Lawrence to tell us what's the proper procedure, what's the recipe to do a proper bench trial on a tank mix.
Well, the proper way of doing a tank mix would be to, first of all, record the sequence in which you added the different ingredients. Let's call them ingredients. So if you have 5 ingredients, you have A, B, C, D, E, you want to write down the order in which you mix them. And you also want to write down what the temperature of the solutions were, not ambient temperature, but the temperatures of the solutions that you mixed.
So in our jar or in our, let's say we do a 5-gallon bucket, we fill it halfway up with water. We test that water and we want that water to be what temperature?
I would say a reasonable temperature be right around 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. Then we put A in, and then we put B in. Do we leave some time between B and C, or do we just keep going with A?
No, you definitely want to make sure you blend both A and B, because if they're going to react with each other, they will react.
You'll see that. So you put A and B in, let it, do you stir it around a little bit and give it a chance? Okay, stir it around a little bit, see if it does anything weird, and then and then you put in C, do the same thing. Then you put in D, the same thing.
Yes.
And you put in whatever else you've got in your witch's brew to put in there one at a time. And then once all of those are in there, you let it sit for a while?
Yeah, that would be my recommendation. Ideally an hour, but I don't know if that's practical or not.
I think it would be. So so that's our formula. So we take our 5 ingredients or whatever it is, that list of 5 ingredients, and we write them all down in order, put them in one at a time in water that we've tested for temperature, and then we go one at a time, and then we give the whole mix half an hour and see if there's a reaction. What kind of reaction would there be? What would we see that would be a problem?
Chemists call it precipitation. You might call it crystallization. Not the same, but you will see crystals falling out of solution, or you might see a gum. There could be any number of different reactions.
So should we take that jug and then throw it through a screener so we can see if there is a crystal?
Yes, that'd be.
And so that's our procedure. Idea. So that's how we do a proper bench trial on a witch's brew, if you will. And Lawrence, thank you so much for joining me on the 2-Minute Turf Talk.